Hello all, welcome to Universal Group of Institutions, Bengaluru. Welcome to our special and unique series on reinterpretation of NCERTs. In my previous video, we have discussed about the interstate disparity and took the help of the Niti Aayog report. Then we also looked at the global poverty scenario and the poverty among the different vulnerable groups and how the Millennium Development Goals and Sustainable Development Goals are associated with the poverty. In this last video, we are going to discuss about some of the anti-poverty measures and the challenges that lie ahead for the India. So, if you look at the anti-poverty measures, we know very clearly, in the words of the ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, due to when British left India, one of the prosperous, colony become a hopelessly poor nation. Okay, so every successive government since independence have taken a lot of measures to eradicate the poverty. So mainly the poverty measures are broadly on two factors that we see. One happens to be the promotion of economic growth, and another one happens to be the targeted anti-poverty program. That is, if you focus more on the economic growth is going to create the employment opportunities. That employment opportunities will act as a income security to the population. So through that, the people can escape the poverty. Or if the government relies more on the economic growth, what happens to the tax revenues of the government? Tax revenues of the government are going to increase. If the tax revenues of the government are going to increase, government will have a more money in their pocket to spend towards the health, so or education or any other social spending. So the first important the strategy to eradicate poverty happens to be the focusing on the economic growth. Then the second one happens to be the focusing on anti-poverty schemes. What do I mean by the targeted anti-poverty schemes? That means we understood, poverty is a multidimensional problem. Poverty exhibit multiple different phases. So let us target those phases of the poverty itself. The one, the different kind of a scheme that the government has come up with, something called as the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. On this particular scheme, I have done a very extensive video which is helpful for both preliminary as well as mains examination. So what was the vision of the MG Narega? All those individuals who are ready to take up the unskilled manual work, the MG Narega is going to ensure 100 days of work. This happens to be the centrally sponsored program, and the wage rate for the unskilled manual workers is revised regularly. So that means once you are enrolled for the program, 100 days of work is ensured for you. Within 15 days of your application, if the panchayat fails to provide you the job, then it is the duty of the state government to provide you with the unemployment allowance. So what is being done? So income security is being guaranteed for 100 days. Then happens to be the very important one, Pradhan Mantri Poshan Shakti Abhiyan. Again, two objectives of this. The one happens to be to improve the nutritional requirement, especially the calorie and the protein intake of the child. Then the second one happens to be the improve school enrollment and eliminate dropout from the school. It targets whom? Class 1 to class 8 in a government and a government aided school. That happens to, again, this is we know the poverty household, the one of the strike visibility that happens to be the malnutrition. So you are tackling that malnutrition among the children. Okay, then happens to be the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan. Again, if you look at this has a vision of reducing the infant mortality rate and the maternal mortality rate by providing free pre and post antenatal care. You are reducing the infant mortality as well as the maternal mortality rate. Can you see very clearly to reduce maternal and the infant mortality rate by providing quality antenatal care to the pregnant women throughout the country. This is the scheme work towards the safe pregnancies, deliveries, addresses the gap in the services of the maternal care. This is again you are targeting the vulnerable group, that is the poor people. Then happens to be the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Think about the multi-dimensional poverty index. There we had one important indicator called as the standard of living. Within the standard of living, we had a sub indicator called as the cooking fuel. We know very clearly, if you see in the whether in a rural or urban poor household, we see they are not using the LPG. They are relying on the wood, they are relying on the cow dung cake, which are not healthy. The gases that are that are emitted, that are not very harmful for the women. So to reduce the disease burden among the women, the respiratory diseases or the cardiovascular diseases, what we see is that the government has started to distribute free LPG cylinder, the first LPG connection that happens to be at a free of cost. As you can see here very clearly, it target beneficiaries include below poverty line household, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, forest developers, marginal groups, to encourage the use of the LPG. That is what is the whole idea here, and including the first refill and the store, which is completely free of cost, as I said very clearly. So over the years, what is being seen, I mean, this scheme which was launched in 2016, we see the more and more people are, taking or using the LPG. So these are some of the measures that have been taken up by the government to address the poverty. Apart from this, if you look at one of the very well known of the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi itself, I mean, she gave a slogan called as the Garibi. I mean, the opposition gave a call of a Indira Hatao, she gave a call of a Garibi Hatao. She came up with a 20-point program which had a sole vision to eradicate the poverty. All such things needs to be highlighted whenever we write answers in the mains examination. Now coming to the last theme of this video discussion, that what are the challenges that lie ahead. See, I mean, if you look at the performance of the government in the last 78 years, regardless of the political color, every successive government has addressed the poverty, gave a greater importance to the eradication of the poverty. They have succeeded in reducing the poverty. The multidimensional poverty index has come down in the single digits across the southern states. But the challenge that lies ahead is the inclusive growth. The inclusive growth, the growth that should reach every segment of the society. Then that means the benefits of the growth must reach every segment of the society. That means the concentration of wealth should not happen. So this is one of the important challenge, I mean, the measures to address. I mean, you need to ensure the inclusive growth in India. That is one of the important tasks that the government has before it. Plus, we need to ensure, because lately we saw that Kerala has become a first state to become completely free of the extreme poverty. Look at the northern states, I mean, where there is a greater burden with regard to the poverty. All such states must take steps to eradicate the poverty, or the northeastern states like the Meghalaya and the Assam as well. So interstate disparity is the another challenge that lies before India. So that's it in this particular video session. Do like, do share, do subscribe. If you have any concern, do let us know in the comment section. Thank you.